Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Drop Frames. It's Sunday. We're here. That's it. We did the bare minimum. We showed up, and now
it's a good day for democracy. I heard.
Well, there's a queue for democracy. It turns out you gotta be careful.
It's always a good day for democracy. Oh, should we queue up now?
I don't know. You guys you two might want to try getting in game. I don't know. I don't know how the servers are handling themselves this morning. If they're rough or if things are open. I don't know. I haven't tried to log in. So they've had some issues.
It's so popular.
Yeah. The game continued to grow 2 weeks after launch, which is kind of a rare thing, but still growing. It doesn't seem people still buy it, even though they quite literally can't play most of the time.
Server at capacity. Please try again later.
Yeah, they're at peak right now, 348,000 right on Steam, and I think they have a 450,000 cap or something like that. Is the latest tweet from the CEO. They're quite literally suffering from success. They're doing their best that they can, but it's still a good game. I think that says a lot about the quality of the game when the numbers continue to rise, when everything on their social media is like, yeah, we're sorry, the game's not working well. Apologies, everyone. They've got a lot of people.
Kudos to the devs for not just like unlocking the servers and let them, fill up with people and inflate their Steam thing, but ruin it for everyone basically, which is what they could do.
Yeah.
The fact that they're having to like cap their max number, and that's what everyone's looking at to dictate how successful the product is, actually goes a pretty far way.
Yeah. They're handling it like the best that you could possibly handle the situation, which in video games today, I think needs to be applauded because that's rare. Most people would just not say anything or say the wrong thing or say nothing. And they're out there giving quite frequent updates, even on the weekends, when, they're supposed to be living a life, having family time, etc. So they're doing it right. And I think the game's going to continue to grow, especially if they continue to add things in whenever isn't that supposed to happen soon? Isn't there like first update supposed to happen soon? Or am I hearing the wrong things about that? I could have sworn that they're
Helldivers?
Yeah. Didn't they say that they're
they've already updated a couple times. Little updates.
Just like new planets and whatnot, because we've the Helldivers have completed. Is that what you're saying? Oh, the second Thursday.
Well, some of that has been kind of just unlocking on its own, like new planets and the global war and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chat's saying the second Thursday of every month, so we still have some time, I suppose. Then the roadmap. They had a full roadmap ready for like launch, and then due to the success, they apparently scrapped all of that and have made a new roadmap and are working on getting that out as quickly as possible. So, yeah, Helldivers, it's doing well. It's doing well, especially considering I think their first game peaked at like 10,000 people on Steam, and now they're like quite literally capped at 450,000 or 500,000 across PlayStation and Steam. It's doing well. And we might play some a little bit later in the broadcast because kind of a light week. There's not too much going on this week.
Honestly, not looking like I've restarted 4 times now, and every time it's just you enter a queue that just keeps. There's not even like a number on it. It's just
God!
Service capacity. Sorry.
Is it a black? Oh, so you're actually getting past the black screen? Because that was the bug yesterday. Is that it would you'd start. And it starts. Screen.
The intro comes up. You skip the intro, and then it pops up to the title screen. And it says "Service at capacity. Please try again later." Retrying in 5 seconds, and it just loops.
Okay.
Loops.
Yeah. That seems to be the quote unquote queue as people are trying to get in throughout the weekend. So, how you guys been?
Do you think like the devs of the game? Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat.
Yeah, you're dying over there.
Sorry about that. Do you think the devs of the game, like when they were making it, do you think they were like, fuck, this is special? I think this is like really good.
I have no idea.
Because,
I don't know what it's like being a game dev, and I don't know if you actually know if a game is going to be that, like if it's gonna sell well.
Well,
I don't know what
I'll
that's
tell
like.
you in like the process of like, no, oh, okay. How about this, JP? How about this?
Okay.
Just
Related to something
There you
that
go.
you
Okay.
can relate to, I guess. You ever been a part of an RP show and you're like, God damn, this is really good. Like you just sit back and go like, this is like most of the shows I've been in, and I've been in quite a few, are good. You know, varying levels of good. But every once in a while, you're like, God damn, this is really good. This is like above and beyond.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess maybe so. That's usually as a result of like what everyone else is doing on the team. So that's, I would think that developers maybe experience that. Be a question for Rami, I guess. We'd have to.
It's
Bing Rami.
also
Sure.
depending on the development time. A lot of times it's a forest. You know, you can't see the forest for the trees situation. I mean, when you've been iterating and working on a game for years and years and years, especially if the devs are also the ones doing like the testing and stuff, like you have to remember that, you know, a game comes out, people enjoy it for a couple weeks, maybe a few months, and then they move on. These devs have been playing this game for years, potentially.
Yeah.
So it's like that, the idea of what this is going to be like for a new player is kind of, you know, they can surmise that, but it's not going to be through their perspective that they're seeing that. So, you know, that's, yeah, a big thing in game dev.
Yeah. I guess that's QA, where QA steps in and they can like figure out if the early game actually works / is good /
A lot of, it's interesting because I've talked to a lot of game devs where they will all talk about how the team will like come up with a mechanic, something they think is really interesting and awesome. They'll spend like a year or more making it and iterate it in themselves in their own group for fun. And then like the first time it goes into a Q&A playtest, everyone's like, yeah, this is dumb. I hate it. Take it out. And then sometimes the devs will be like, damn, you're right. Like we spent so much time trying to make it good. We didn't worry about like if it's fun or if it fits. So yeah, it can happen.
Yeah.
But in Helldivers case, I mean, it's just a fun game. I think the devs probably thought they would have a good amount of success. I mean, they have, you know, servers capable of holding 300,000 people. They were ready for that. I don't know if they realized how much it was going to be fun, like how actually fun it was going to be. And more importantly, how it was going to pick up be like a phenomenon. The whole democracy thing. I see people that aren't even playing Helldivers doing the democracy meme.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
So
seems to be rolling. Seems to be rolling for sure. Well, cool. That's the news update on Helldivers. It's doing well, and struggling under the weight of its own success. We'll see where we're at a week from now. Is I think the game's going to continue to grow as it just continues to pick up more and more media and more streams and all that stuff. Speaking of streams, I know you guys both watched the Streamer Awards last night. How did you enjoy it? Zeke, who do you think took home the big award, and did they deserve it? Fill us in.
According to my Twitter, the only award that happened last night was Maximilian Dude.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah,
there was no other award from anybody on my Twitter that was even mentioned except for that one. Like everybody was like, "Yay, Max!"
Yeah, he got the Legacy Award is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
He won Legacy.
Yeah, and he didn't know, so he was up for fighting game streamer of the year, and so he was in attendance. And I think that I have no idea, but I would think that they probably got him there in person thanks to his wife, and I think Unruly was there.
Wait, he was there?
Yeah, he was there in person.
I thought I saw a clip of him reacting like in his room to it.
That might have just been the photo that they chose for the was it this photo? Here, let me see.
Oh, he was there. He was at that was a meme.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently that was a
meme. You believe
meme.
your chat and not me.
Oh no,
I do. I don't believe you at all.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and you may not have watched it closely enough because he was reacting to him getting an award, watching himself sitting in the audience.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
I probably should have connected those dots, huh?
Yeah.
when he was both in the reaction and the reactee comment content, I probably should have connected those dots.
Yeah.
No, I mean you're not alone. I showed it. I showed it to Katie and she was like, "What is it?" I'm like, "He's reacting to him winning an award, and he's there live. So it's either edited or pre-recorded." Like
he did that when he got home. Apparently, he streamed when he got home after the awards.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's what he did. And I didn't see him reacting to it, but there was some tech issues across the entire award show when it came to like audio and FPS stuff of playback videos, and so like for his, they had like a whole video kind of recapping and celebrating his streaming career. And it just fucking sucked. Like they eventually had to put audio over it because the audio was hitching so bad that they just put kind of like elevator music over the top of the video as it was playing. It just looked really rough. And maybe even more so because the people that were doing the production for that was Ludwig's production company that had ads all over the award show, wanting to work with other streamers.
Oopsies.
So yeah. It was that was kind of I think the biggest talk of the show was any of the videos associated with the show, whether it was even like the sponsored stuff. The first playback was rough. It's like they didn't run it through the production PC to like check or something. I don't know what the issue was exactly, but it all ran at low FPS with really bad audio issues. And then they fixed it later on, like the second time they ran those ads, but they only ran the Maximilian Dude legacy video once, and it was really scuffed. And then I don't know if it was scuffed in person. I saw some reports that it was. And he was just on stage staring at it for like, I don't know, 5-6 minutes. It was kind of rough. It was not it's not the best.
That's
look.
unfortunate.
Yeah. It was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. But I think that full video got re-uploaded somewhere. If you're wanting to watch it, and huge shout out to Maximilian Dude for doing what he does and getting the Legacy Award. Because yeah, I think in our social spheres that was the biggest talk. Oh, are you seeing the feed of it?
No, I'm not going to read it out, but I'm seeing a lot of comments from people in chat that watched it, and
there's definitely a hate boner
yeah,
on the show in general, and this didn't help.
I haven't heard that term in a long time.
yeah, that's the Legacy Award goes to that term for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some of the other things that were kind of weird. I watched the show in full. The other stuff that was kind of weird is like all the biggest streamers that won, the quote unquote TikTok streamers, the Jinxies, the Quesos, the Kaisenot's not a TikTok streamer, but he won Streamer of the Year. They weren't there. And so it kind of sucks when like your biggest awards of the night go to people that weren't there and or are watching at home on their own stream, reacting to it in real time. Kind of not the best look.
That's why it always seems so silly to do a streamer awards.
Yeah.
It always seems so silly to me because it's like these, like most of the people that are up for awards are either among the most sarcastic or, you know, are the most like, and like the most uncaring about important things. Like,
well, Soda Poppin'
or
wasn't
things that
there.
are like like supposed to be important and shit like that.
Sure.
Like I saw people dress up and stuff, but like that's their job, is to shit on things like this, right? Like
a little bit. Yeah. Soda Poppin's acceptance speech, he was not there. He basically said, "Fuck all you other competitors. I'm better. I should be up for Streamer of the Year. Fuck you guys." So, like, it was a very Soda Poppin'
very Soda Pop, very on brand.
Yeah,
that's the term, on brand. Very on brand.
Yeah.
No, well, it's interesting because like I QT Cinderella, the person that runs it, specifically said, if I invited you and you can't make it for any reason, in all caps, do not co-stream the awards.
I think they got special like privilege or whatever last minute for Queso and Jinxie. And I mean, she might have said that, but at the end of the day, those two streams gave another 300,000 No. Jinx
That much?
Jinxie had 140,000, I think, like average, and I think at peak he was around 180 watching. The main show averaged around 200K plus.
Wow.
Okay, so was it like 70-ish, 60-ish K watching?
Bro won an award, and oh man, that's wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of viewers she would have had.
Well, I mean, they were all streaming under special events with like, it was the Game Awards thing, right? Like exactly what everyone does for Game Awards. So
yeah,
she still won because people were still seeing the ads, and she can count everyone that was streaming under special events, the 300, 400,000 people having seen those ads. So like, it's a win-win in the long run, but the optics of it are not great, I would say. When like the biggest streams are matching your viewership. That doesn't happen for the Game Awards. The Game Awards is always leaps and bounds above everyone else watching.
Yeah.
So it's
like
it's not the fairest
80%
comparison.
versus everyone else.
Yeah, not the fairest comparison. But yeah.
Oh, don't feel bad. No. People are saying I feel so bad I haven't heard any of these names. I didn't know people that won awards. I've been streaming for 10 years. I legit had never heard of some of the people that
here's
that got the
weirdest
awards.
thing.
The thing. Well, no. Here's the thing.
You go ahead. No, by all means.
Go ahead.
Nope.
I'll go.
Zeke, go.
Zeke, go ahead.
I haven't heard any of these names before. Like, and it's not because we're like obstinate against it or anything like that.
No,
it's like these content creation are circles of people. Like there are groups of people, and they usually don't like they butt up against each other, but they don't like intermingle. Like,
I don't watch mid-20s YouTube Minecraft people. Like I don't know of them. I don't watch them. You know, and some of them win. And for people in chat being like, you don't know who Pirate Software is? You don't know who? Of course I know who most of the people there are. I'm just saying that some of the people that won awards I'd never heard of. In fact, I think the fourth guy down there, he won an award in a different category.
He won a lot of awards. Yeah,
it's one of the first time I have no clue who that guy is. I have no idea who Quack.
Minecraft guy.
It's not because he's not a great streamer or huge. It's because he's a Minecraft streamer. I don't watch Minecraft. So, you know, like it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just goes to show you how big some
median age is. Like, what's the median age? No, it's because we're on a delay. No, what's the median age of like the nominees and winners? I would imagine that I'm probably at least 15, if not 20 years older than most of them.
And for the record, what Julia just said is 100% accurate. Julia says, that's why I don't consider them streamer awards, but QT Circle awards. And yes, that's what it is. The show is put on by QT Cinderella, and it is the people that she feels are the biggest in the streaming space. Obviously, there's millions of live streamers that are in different languages, that don't do games. There's like lifestyle streamers and stuff. There's tons and tons of streamers. This is not the Game Streamer of the Year award. It is the streamer of the Streamer Awards. So obviously she has picked and choose like what group she wants to include in the show, because she has to.
It's fan voted. It's more the fans of everyone that is there is who's picking and choosing.
That's true, but that's the circles of the audiences of the people involved. Like this isn't, you know, this is no. I'm saying it's QT's circle because she's the one involved. She chooses who's going to be there, who's going to be involved. So all the people around them then vote for the people they watch, which is all in their circle. It's a giant umbrella around the whole community and the streamers. So I mean, but the thing is not only is Julia right, but that's also the literal only way that she could do it, because it's not like she can ping every single large streamer of every. You know, like there has to be some boundary. So
yeah.
How do we know how the nominees are chosen?
By pure fan vote.
Pure fan vote.
Oh, they are too. Okay, okay.
I
knew the winners like were fan voted. I didn't know the nominees were as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless the streamer is like a critical mass streamer, which I would consider like Iron Mouse or Kai Cenat. They just have, you know, viewers everything go do it. A lot of the streamers at the Stream Awards, when the Stream Awards came out, they just blasted their communities. Hey, here's a category for me, go vote for me, go do this kind of stuff. So you know, it's both viewer submitted, and you could also argue streamer submitted. Kind of situation.
Promoted is probably
streamer promote. Well, yeah.
Because that's how you win, right? You say, "Hey, go vote for me." That's
absolutely. It's a popular vote.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's exactly how you had winners. Again, unless you're critical mass like Kai, where everyone's going to vote for him that watches him anyway. He doesn't need to say a thing, and he probably would have won. But a lot of the people that won the categories were like, "Hey, I'm up for this category on this. Click this link and vote for me." So it's like,
yeah.
Well, it's also weird because like it's fan voted, which means popularity, like a popular vote.
Mhm.
So it's not like, any other awards that are rewarding stuff that were made in that year, like, the Oscars or the Game Awards or anything like that. These people like will be nominated again next year by the fans and so on and so forth until like they lose popularity. So it seems like we're going to see the same names every year for the next however many years. It's just
Well,
it seems weird.
Every year there gets to be like big explosive new people. Jinxie is a good example of somebody who's popped onto the scene recently. Pirate Software, he won the award for game dev. He recently exploded onto the scene. So I think it's there's going to be a conveyor belt of people. You will always have the Kais, the Ludwigs, the Iron Mouses, who are probably going to rule the category for a few years at least, unless they decide to stop streaming for any reason. I mean, there'll always be new people. Every year there's a new big streamer, usually more than a few. So, it'll keep moving along.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's a lot of people that I didn't even know of that were on the list this year. And some of them were in categories of things that I do watch. I just never heard of them. But I think there's enough to roll it over.
Yeah. I think it's for me, the like, do you want to feel old moment was seeing Ludwig respond to Queso and Jinxie as the new generation. And that's Ludwig saying that. It's like,
yeah,
like
kind of.
Like, fuck me, man.
Granted, I mean, well, you say that, but then you actually think about it, and Ludwig's been doing this, 7 years?
Yeah.
7 or 8 years that he's been at the level he's doing? I mean, he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But if
older.
If that's the quote unquote new generation, then we're like 4 generations back at that point.
Rennie says it's also
wild.
just an event for the streamers to pat each other on the back and feel important. Well, the main reason the event is QT. QT puts on events. It's how she makes her money. It's how she gets popular. That's the main reason there's streamer awards. And more power to her. That's awesome. That's great. And then she actually said, I saw a thing of this on Twitter. He actually says, like, one of the reasons I do this is not only for the fans, but so streamers can appreciate each other's work. So absolutely, that's why they do it. So streamers can pat themselves on the back and pat their friends on the back and things like that. So, I mean, the thing is, I think a lot of people take the Streamers Awards a bit more seriously than anyone should. Because, I mean, it is, at the end of the day, it is just a big show to say good job streamers. And that's literally all the show is. That and ads.
Yeah.
It's to make money, get viewers, and for fans of streamers to be able to be like, that's my guy and they won. And streamers to be like, I'm awesome.
Yeah. And ads.
That's really all it is. That's it. It's not a game awards. It's not, there's none of the awards are seriously. They're all popularity contests. It's just a big show. It's a big entertainment show. That's all it is.
Yeah.
More power to it.
Exactly. But yeah, in terms of the actual show, tech problems were kind of everywhere. Audio issues.
I saw like probably 5 or 6 things commenting on this. I'm still not convinced I understand it properly because I'm baffled it would have happened on that. Was there really a musical performance where like there was a derogatory slur in it?
Yes, that was the Fortnite meme song. He said,
was it like a contextual thing, or was he just like flagrantly just like out of nowhere?
He said, I forget the line of the song. He basically referred.
He called something gay.
He referred to something as gay, and it's the Fortnite meme song from a while back. I think.
And is that the actual words in the meme song?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
From like 5.
Still sounds terrible, but that's a little different.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was making the rounds on Twitter.
I think one of the only messages I got during the show was somebody saying that like they had to turn it off because of that performance. Not because of the slur, just because of they were just like, man, this is
the musical.
this is a thing.
No, you're not wrong. Objectively, the performance was like not great. Like
Yeah.
it was like
I've not
high
seen
school
it, so
pop
I don't know.
concert like level of like, oh, okay, you're doing your recital. Okay, everybody claps.
Yeah.
Everybody claps at the recital.
There's a handful of good musical performances. Harry Mack opened up the show, who's really good. He's a freestyle rapper, and he freestyled for a solid 4 or 5 minutes, and it was very entertaining. And then on the complete opposite side, there was really bad performance. It's like there was one where I don't know what was happening, to be honest. The person had auto-tune on their mic, and they were like trying to sing, and it just sounded horrible. Like there's no other way to discuss how it sounded. It sounded god awful. Not. Oh man, don't just watch it. I suppose it was really really bad.
You know what? No.
You don't want to watch it.
I'll just take your word for it, man.
Okay, all right. Dan Clancy performed with BB No Money on stage. He was performing up there. BB No Money
I've heard Dan's actually pretty great.
He was on the piano. Yeah. BB No Money had Asmongold's face like painted on his chest, so that was a whole thing. As you do, the Streamer Awards. But yeah, you got a wide range of performances, I would say, musically at the at the event. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else to add to the event. It was quite long. It started at 3 my time, and I think the show ended around 10. The actual show itself was 3 hours. They did like 4 or 5 hours of pre-show. I think 3 of those hours was red carpet, or 2.5 hours were red carpet.
Oh wow.
So it was a lot. And they played a lot of ads on top of all that stuff. So I would always see chat erupting. Like ads.
Billy Bob goes, really? The music performances were kind of like the principal in that Adam Sandler movie. And we're all just dumber for hearing them. Dude.
Nice. That's a throwback right there. That's a
throwback. That's a throwback.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the Streamer Awards. It was a thing. I am very curious to know what happens to that moving forward. Is like, oh, what is? I got to know what you watched.
Sorry, no, I didn't watch anything. I just
okay.
realized that Last Epoch overtook Path of Exile for total player count on Steam.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little random side bit there.
No. I'm curious to see what happens to that show next year, as like the people that won the streamers of the year, the gamer of the year, and don't seem to like want to interact in person with that show. Does that mean that the show kind of continues to stay where it's at, or like does Cutie try to bring them into the fold? I don't know. Like you kind of need the audience to watch, right?
I would guess that all of the people that were nominated were invited. But
sure.
Again, all the people that were invited are streamers. So it's like there's 2 distinct types of streamers. There's like social streamers, and then there's the other ones, which I would say is arguably us and most others. So it's the kind of thing where, like, even in the best case, there's always going to be winners that are like, I have no interest in going there. It will do nothing for me. It's travel I don't need to do. I have no benefit of doing it. They're not paying them. So it's kind of like, and more importantly, a lot of them don't know anyone in those circles.
Sure.
Take Kai, for instance, man. He doesn't hang out with anyone from QT's crew or really any of the Twitch streamers. He does his own thing completely. Jinxie's kind of the same way. He does his own thing and does, rolls on his own. So, I mean, I don't think that's going to change, but I don't think it's supposed to change. You know, it's just kind of the the thing about being streamers and doing awards for streamers.
Yeah. So
We have a pretty unique position.
with that in regard to the award show, do you think like what happens to it? Has it quote unquote peaked? If they're not gonna
It was a lot bigger this year than last year, wasn't it?
If you count in like restreams, yes. Or
Yeah.
co-streams of it, yes. Yeah.
I mean, it was clearly successful. I would assume, with how many ads I've heard were there, that they hopefully made some, you know, decent money off of it. And QT, obviously, I'm sure is thrilled about the huge amount of viewers that are there. So, if anything, I think it's just going to get bigger.
Yeah. I suppose we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Is it QT who
I
set
like
up the show? The
the-
entire thing is QT Cinderella. Literally, it exists because of her. It would
Yeah.
not exist without QT. Yeah. It's her show.
She is the Jeff Keighley of the streamer awards.
It really should be like the streamer awards, and then like under like presented by QT Cinderella. Like it's one of those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might even say that somewhere in some.
Jessica says, if you were ever nominated, would you attend? I mean, I get invited each year. They're very nice, and they invite me to come out. Mostly just because I'm in. You know, they invite Loaded. They invite my whole management team, so I get an invite through that. But to put it bluntly, like if I got nominated, would I go? First of all, I'd never get nominated because I don't really promote votes, and I'm definitely not a big enough streamer for that. But second of all, probably not. Like it's not really my scene. All the reasons that I listed before. You know, I'd rather be here and stream, and I'd rather, you know, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that the Streamer Awards doesn't have like a more integrated setup remote option. You know, like for streamers that are not there. Granted, I didn't watch it. Maybe they have a good thing, but you know, I'm a like when there were streamers that won that weren't there. Did they have like calls to them? Did they bring them in live? Did they do that stuff?
They did the like we pre-recorded a video. Please pre-record a video in case you win type situation.
Okay.
Yeah, and
That's
that's how
cool.
they. That's
So
how
at least
brought
they
them
like
in.
spoke there and stuff. Okay, so that works. But
Yeah.
I mean the short answer is not really. But, you know, I do. It's one of those things where I love that shows like this exist. I think it's better for Twitch overall. They're not really my thing, but you know, it's cool to see communities on Twitch come together and celebrate and have a good time. I'm all about that kind of stuff. So I
Yeah.
love that QT's doing well with them. I love that she's kicking butt with them, and you know, not my scene, but you love to see it.
Yeah, Kong fan was there, so you would know some faces there.
I'd probably just latch onto him like a date and then just follow him around. If that's okay, Anthony. If
Yeah.
that's next year if I get invited, we'll just do that.
There you go.
It'll just be Anthony
No,
Kongfan
I-
and his boyfriend. That's what we'll do.
I actually offered.
Tracks.
Yep.
I actually offered Tony, like when he told me he was going, I actually offered him to be his blaster to his master, and I would just carry him around in a little like backpack, and I would just have
there
this
we go.
metal mask on, shirtless, and just
Oh,
carry him around, Mad
That's
Max
so good.
style.
makes
That's
sense.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
He turned me down, but he had to think about it.
that's
for a
weird.
minute.
I wonder why. Okay.
It wasn't an instant turn down.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
instant. Okay. Noted.
No, I was going to mention this. The thing that I did like, and I would like that. I would like to see it expanded into like maybe a few more awards. Is they had an award for Stream Game of the Year,
Mhm.
and Lethal Company actually won that this year, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But I would love to see like, you know, the streamed games awards. You know, like. Because this is the Stream Game Award, like it says the best game watched on stream during the past year because it's very entertaining, novel, fun to watch, interesting, etc. But like also,
You're
I would
saying
love to see
you want
like
the streamers only to vote on the stuff.
no streamers and fans, like anybody, like
Oh, okay.
anybody can vote on it. Just like expand the categories, like you know, your favorite action game, your favorite fighting game to watch this
So
year.
this
you
is
know.
interesting because
To watch, not even just to play and stuff like that. Just like because
guarantee you
that means
they've-
it could be from any year.
I guarantee you they've thought about that because, but there's two things you got to consider. First of all, a lot of the streamers that are on the Streamer Awards are not game streamers. They don't play games. So if they made a portion
that's
of
true.
the show about watching
true.
games, that'd be weird. And second of all, when you start bringing non-streaming things into it, then that kind of changes the whole format of the show. Because again, a lot of people aren't
And-
there for games at all.
Yep, you're absolutely right,
So-
and I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
huge oversight on my part. Where I was like, oh right, it's the streamer awards, not the streaming awards.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
I retract my statement. Why is that award on there then? It shouldn't be on there. It shouldn't be. This isn't the Game Awards. There should be no awards for games.
That's for fans to vote.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, you know, your argument is they should lean into that. It's not wrong. But I mean, it would be its own set of problems.
Yeah. I do not envy Cutie Cinderella's position in that, because I'm sure she gets asked that type of question. Not that it's a bad question, but just a billion questions on why don't you have an award for X? Why don't you have an award for Y? Like, not an enviable position at all.
It's interesting, and I would only talk about this because she talks about it herself. But Cutie Cinderella is one of the types of people that will frequently, openly and honestly tweet about the state of her mental health, like how stressed and stuff and she is like that.
Yeah.
And I have frequently wondered if it's due to the fact that she basically herds like streamer cats at all times. Not only streamer cats, but their fans.
Yeah.
Like the position that she is in, like, I can only imagine how much she has to deal with.
Yeah, I mean the LSF thread alone last night had like 1,000+ comments, and
Oh man. Yep.
let's say they weren't all super favorable to the show, to Cutie Cinderella, to everything. So yeah, I mean, I started off the conversation saying like, yeah, the production sucked, right? So I'm adding to that process, but not an easy / fun position to be constantly under scrutiny.
She's got a lot of eyes, which means a lot of scrutiny.
Yes. Yeah.
And a lot of commentary.
Yep.
So
Yep. Speaking of award shows, the DICE award shows happened over the weekend. I watched them in full. Not too many.
I don't know a single person that goes to those, but I see so many people at DICE.
Yeah, I don't
know like anyone that goes to it. It's wild.
In terms of like game developers or
like it, you know, PAX, TwitchCon, you know, at any time this comes around, you usually start seeing like an army of people on your Twitter, just like getting ready, who's going, all that kind of stuff. And like DICE is one of the biggest events where it's just like there doesn't seem to be any of that. Which is weird. Not saying it's not popular. It's just I don't know like what the thinking. What exactly is
it's
DICE?
an industry.
Is it an award show?
Yeah.
Or is it do other things as well?
I mean, it's kind of just like it's like God damn it, what is the show in San Francisco?
I'm not following the right people? I must not be. Yeah.
I'm blanking on it. It's super industry. There's no public. It's like game journos and just like pure industry folk are who shows up. GDC, yeah. It's not like GDC where there's like panels and stuff. I don't think it's just like a pure industry get together type deal. And in a lot of ways, I think the DICE award holds like a special meaning to developers, whereas like the Game Awards is kind of like I don't want to say not the MTV
public
award.
Facing?
That cheap, yeah, like public facing type award show. The DICE is like the SAG-AFTRA awards.
So DICE is like what E3 used to be to game devs, but for awards.
Sure, yeah. Like early E3. Yeah.
And I did know, and for the record, when I said no one on my Twitter was going, I should have said that no one that I know that's like from my streaming career is going.
Yeah, no one goes.
I like tons of Remedy devs, Gene Park. There were guys from Larian that wanted to go and didn't make it. Lots of people from like the game dev world. Obviously, it's for them. Like those are the people that go. But I just found it weird that like almost no non-game devs or game dev adjacent people tend to. Is there
no
public seating?
No, I don't even think so.
Must be what it is.
I don't think there is. Yeah.
That's cool.
Like Gene was there. A bunch of other game journals were there in person. Jason Schreier, I think.
Totally says, why would streamers be there? Well, I mean, I would assume that there would be interest outside of, you know, like I was assuming that it's game related. So I was assuming there would be something of interest for people that enjoy games, but maybe not work on them. But it looks like that's not the right thinking.
I don't think that's the right crowd. Yeah,
it's not the right crowd.
Cool. I can just pull up the winners here. Spider-Man won a lot. Which,
wait.
Yeah, this was Spider-Man's night. I saw that.
Yeah.
Greg Miller was one of the hosts, and he said as a host that nobody likes Embracer Group, and then it was shot to the CEO of Embracer sitting there.
I don't think it was the CEO, but yeah.
Is that it?
It was
somebody from Embracer?
It was someone from Embracer, yeah. He had a pretty they did
Chad is saying it was not the CEO. It was not the CEO. But who was it then?
I'm gonna let Chad answer.
Do you know who it was? I know you said it wasn't the CEO too. I'm wondering if you knew.
I don't know.
Okay. Was it, wait, Chad's saying it was a random guy that looked like him?
Oh, so it had nothing to do.
Well, please tell me he at least worked at Embracer. Someone from Nintendo? Wait. Hold up.
It was a random guy who had nothing to do with Embracer. Yeah.
So why did they cut to him? Okay, this is a lot deeper than I was thinking.
Yeah.
Real quick. DICE is related to Electronic Arts, yes?
No.
Or is that's not a totally different thing?
Totally different thing.
I was trying to look up what DICE actually stands for, and I can't. It's fucking hard to find because it's actually an acronym for a lot of different shit. Apparently,
yeah.
Yeah. What I forget what it is. Design.
Design, innovate, communicate, entertain.
Yes.
That sounds plausible.
Yeah. There you go.
If it's not that, it should be. Yeah.
But yeah, Spider-Man won a bunch of awards. Baldur's Gate ended up taking Game of the Year. Trying to think if there was any like big surprises. Alan Wake didn't win that much at all over the course of the night, which was a little surprising. This one was the strategy simulation game of the year was Dune Spice Wars.
Spice Wars.
Yeah, that one was a little bit weird. Cocoon did win for outstanding achievement for independent game, Zeke. That took that. Yeah, this one was really interesting.
I didn't know that El Paso Elsewhere was up there. That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
El Paso Elsewhere was a great game. It was the Max Payne like.
Yeah,
and it's really cool to see that up there. And also Thirsty Suitors, which actually ended up being like I didn't ever end up like giving it more than the demo's worth, but man, it was really well put together, really cool, and I'm glad to see that up there.
Yeah.
Those two are kind of a surprise to me.
Yep. The online game of the year, Diablo 4. That one was, I mean, the industry voted on that, so that one was kind of a, I guess, shocker is the term I'll use for it. Not expected, I would say. Maybe they finished the story and then stopped playing. In that regard, I could maybe see.
But it's online game of the year.
Oh yeah,
like
the whole premise.
The whole premise is you're supposed to.
Fuck. Yeah. I don't know. That one was strange. What else was there? Oh yeah, then BG3 took the final three.
Are these paid votes? I don't think so.
It's industry votes. It's the SAG-AFTRA Awards where it's actors voting on actors to win. This is game devs voting on game devs to win. So yeah, the big I guess news out of it came from the acceptance speech from Larian, where for game of the year, they went and talked about, quote, "We are very lucky. We had a lot of stage time. Others are not so lucky. This is a really human industry, and we're really bad sometimes at showing developers what they're worth."
Oh, it's just Cromwell's speech.
Yeah, it's kind of the elephant in the room, especially surrounded by all this opulence. Many, many people were let go at the start of the year. I want to let you know that you're all talented and that you matter, that you are the future of the industry. Don't let that flame be extinguished by our collective mistakes. We will preserve as an industry. And then David Walgrave came on the mic to talk and say, where's the full quote? "We don't make decisions where we think this can make us the most money. In the long run, building a community, building a player base, building games that are actually fun is going to make you the most money. That is it." There was also a big line about how they don't answer to shareholders. That was like the huge takeaway that got all the headlines that I'm trying to find here.
I love the dichotomy of them coming out and saying that after the Embracer quote going around. It's just like,
yeah,
you literally could not get further apart in terms of appreciating the passion of your profession. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, it really was. I mean,
Yeah.
Embracer was like the elephant and the sore point of the whole thing, right? Because
I bet.
yeah. Greg Miller, I think you mentioned it earlier, his comment about how everyone was upset that Embracer was going to be their type deal. I forget the exact joke that he went with, but yeah, it's wasn't a fun situation, I guess, for that, but it was also a very good acceptance speech from them. Yeah, we don't have shareholders, but we also don't think about them. That's the full quote. Even though I think people will be very quick to say, like, doesn't Tencent have stake in Larian? Yes, but they don't have to listen to anything that Tencent says. They can just do whatever they want. That's part of the agreement. Also, Tencent has ownership of everything. Funny in the industry, they have roots everywhere. So, not a lot of people watched. The stream that I was watching was on Twitch TV/IGN, and it had like 600 to 700 viewers. So it was a pretty low.
Wait, they streamed it?
Yeah, it was streamed on /IGN. Was that Saturday? No,
I had no idea.
Thursday. It was low. It was low viewership. But they didn't cut anyone off for acceptance speeches. That was nice. There was no. They didn't have the whole debacle that the Game
To be
Awards
blunt,
had.
they couldn't.
Yeah,
If they had actually cut off speeches at DICE,
it would have been a big deal.
I feel that would have been the news.
Yeah,
That would have been the news.
Yeah.
So, I guarantee you, there were people on the side of the screen like,
they got stopwatch and like.
"Do you have that big hook from like the old movies that we could?" No, okay.
Yeah. What else is in the news? Diablo 4.
Wrap it up. That's right. Wrap it up.
Yeah, Diablo 4 launched a $65 horse bundle this week. That it cost more than the game itself because the game was discounted. So you can get a pretty horse and then get a bunch of in-game currency for that, and the internet just destroyed that whole thing. It was there's 2,000 comments alone on this thread that I'm reading, which is quite a lot for the given place that I'm getting it from. But yeah, I don't know how the people at Blizzard were like, guys, let's put out a $65 horse. The community will love it. But maybe people bought it.
Dude, I'm glad somebody in my chat finally asked the right question. He said, "Yeah, but can I buy armor for the horse?"
Does it come with armor? They got a photo of it here. Let's see. This is the horse.
I mean, what's even the point?
The horse doesn't even look that good. If I'm being real,
What? That looks awesome.
Really?
It looks like it. That looks like a crystal, like a crystal nightmare.
Is it $60 awesome?
65. Awesome.
For a single model?
It's rare that I will pay anything extra for skins in any sort of game.
Yeah.
So that's not a fair question to me. I think in my gaming lifetime, I think I've paid money for cosmetic things less than 5 times.
Okay.
It's not just the horse. You also get $70 worth of currency. The horse is a bonus.
That's how they are. Yes.
So they're not selling the horse. They're selling a $70 currency pack that comes with a horse skin.
If you want to look at it that way, sure.
I mean, is that true or not?
I mean, that is true. Yeah. You get 7,000 platinum with it, and 7,200 platinum costs $64.97 according to the IGN article that we have up on screen. So yeah.
I feel like this is definitely a fun to hate Blizzard moment, to be honest.
But it's a very easy one, right? Like
it is very easy.
It's Blizzard.
To be fair, it's very easy to hate Blizzard.
Hey guys, can you shit on us this week, please?
Yeah.
we want
so nobody's been talking bad about us for a solid 3 weeks now. We need to stir the pot a little bit.
That's right.
It
is really easy target, without question. But yeah.
Get that one Blizzard guy. It's like, no, you're paying for the currency. The horse is actually free. The horse is free.
That's how they're spinning it, I suppose.
Yeah, the horse is totally free. That's crazy to think you just have to pay $70 to get the horse, and it comes with currency. Wait, ignore me completely. I'm sorry.
I wonder how many of those they sold. I have not played or logged into D4. I'm just curious, like, for people that are in chat, and maybe you don't want to out yourselves, but are there a lot of these horses running around in the game? I don't know.
Let me ask you guys a question. Diablo 4 is not like a competitive PvP in any way kind of game, is it?
There is PvP in the game, but it is, I believe it's like hard balanced. So I do not believe there's any.
The reason why I'm asking, the reason why I'm asking is is there a way like there? Yeah, okay. There's no way to like pay like for something there and get like an advantage over anybody.
No, there's pay to win.
Yeah,
there's no pay to win.
Okay. That said, then I still to this day I can't understand why people get like, maybe help me understand like why people get outraged over something that is completely and totally optional.
Because it's the direction of value. Because that is basically them saying, like, let's take it for the flamboyant headline that everyone was talking about, $70 horse. Well, the idea is that if they were going to charge you $70 for a horse, that's a slope that you are in the process of slipping down. So, at first it was, who would pay $5 for armor on your horse? And now here we are 15, 20 years later. Who's going to pay $70 for the horse?
Who's going to pay more than the game?
So the idea is that, what's going to happen in 10 years from now, where it's like, oh, cool, 120 cosmetic pack for a horse and the armor set. It's like, it's the thing that people don't like is the fact that it's the value is not there for 99% of people who look at that. And when there's no value, it looks like you're trying to get ripped off. When you're trying to get ripped off, that makes you angry. And that's it.
Yeah. No, that's perfectly said.
It makes you mad. It makes you feel disrespected. It makes you like, okay, I'm supposed to like you, company. You make a game that I'm enjoying playing, but you have the audacity to try to charge me $70 for just currency and a horse. Like that makes people frustrated. Especially if they've already played full price, if they've already bought stuff on the store. It's like, how much money do they want from these people? Well,
but like, okay.
don't
all of it. We want all of it. Go fucking the entire paycheck.
And funny enough, like someone just said in chat, this is where, last thing I'll say, that it's all yours. This is a line that Blizzard has to walk, where they have to decide how much are we going to go after the whales and not try to make our community feel disrespected. And this is a good example of when one of those does not line up. They're going after the whales with this pack, but the community is definitely like, we're not happy with it. And that is the eternal struggle between monetized games in this fashion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you guys have wallets?
It's just a mystery to me because it's like resenting or feeling guilty after going through like an aquarium or a museum and they make you go through the gift shop before exiting, right? Like, I already paid for the ticket. Why would you put this optional shit to buy right here after I got paid for the ticket? It's like getting mad about like, oh, I got to go through the gift shop. Fuck you. Make me feel guilty for not buying anything. Like,
Blizzard's also in a special case because it's really fun to hate Blizzard right now. Like it's trendy because
it's like a hobby for a lot of people.
Yeah. There's
even creators.
Yeah.
There are creators where the second something happens with Blizzard, within 5 minutes you'll get a snarky ass tweet from them.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's fun to hate on them right now.
Yes, it 100% comes down to the relationship that a developer / publisher has with their community. Because if you throw it to like Path of Exile, me and Co have bought a lot of things for crazy, ludicrous amounts of money.
Thousands of dollars.
But because like GGG is in its good graces, everyone's like, cool, thanks for supporting.
There's a key word. There's a key word. The key word is value. There's value there. Like when I buy a $400 supporter pack from Path of Exile, it's like, yeah, that seems insane. And then I go and look at my Steam list and it's like, oh, cool, 898 hours played.
Right.
that's
So
a lot of money, but that's a lot of time they've given me, and those time's been super enjoyable for me. And that's literally almost 100x I get from some other games that I pay $60 for. So it's like, sure, man, I'll reward that. That feels good to pay that. Feels good to buy a supporter pack there. Where it's like, if you were to get the $70 thing from Diablo, it's like you got to hold your nose and like,
But
you click the button.
what if you put in 500 hours to D4? Does it? Do you feel that?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's who the horse is for.
Sure.
The horse is for the people that have money and are still, and they got groups of friends they want to show off to, and they're like, it's the whales. They're going for
Sorry,
this.
I'm laughing because it's such a video game discussion of like, who's the horse for? Well, the horse is for the people that have played 100 hours. Like,
I love that.
Not for new players.
For the whales.
Right? No, you're right.
Why are we
It's just
talking
the
about
whole
horses and whales here?
just the conversation is such a video game bullshit discussion.
Also, I love the way you described like how people buy it. It's like that one like French cuisine meal where the bird you have to like put a cover over your head to hide your shame from God, like when you eat it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But one really excellent point, and
oh God,
I love analogies, and I understand the world better with analogies. Trennis from your chat co said it's more like they give you the ticket for the aquarium, so to speak, and then put the shark behind a paywall. And that made sense. I get that. It's because it's a cool thing that you want, but you don't get it unless you pay more.
I would kind of agree with that. The only thing here is that like a shark at an aquarium is something that you assume you're gonna get, where a horse is kind of like a horse skin.
No, there are sharks.
It's a little more optional.
But the coolest shark though, you don't get to see.
Sure, let's go with it. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's go with it.
I'm losing my mind over this.
Also, by the way, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna call this. This is a slight call out, but I read this and I was just like, oh no.
Let's hear it.
Oh no. Somebody goes, yeah, but can you really brag about something you bought and didn't earn? And I want to be like, oh my man. I feel like we haven't yet gotten to the point.
Rollies in the sky, waving side to side.
This is I feel bad because I feel like that guy hasn't gotten to the point in his life where he's gonna like hit this wall of realization.
Yeah.
Can you really be impressed by something that was bought and not earned? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, looks like we just had a small F. I don't know if that was Barry or Twitch, but we're back already. Just refresh.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Twitch be twitching.
Somebody said there's a lot to unpack there.
There's
a lot to unpack.
There is, without a doubt.
There's a lot to unpack.
Let's move on to the next quick bit of news. Skull and Bones came out. Co and I both have done sponsored streams for it, so take that for what it's worth. We'll just get that out of the way right out of the gate. But Co, I'm actually curious, having played it now for 6 hours, I guess, because you did 4 hours. How long? It was 4 hours, right? For the open beta sponsor stream was 2, and then the full launch was 2. Did you play it at all after that? Did you go back to it?
No.
Okay.
Got another revisit I'm doing down the road, but
okay. I put in let me load up I put in 14 hours. I actually played a decent amount off stream, funny enough. Because I didn't the chat was let's say volatile. And I just
think Blizzard's fun to hate.
Yeah, I just wanted to check the game out.
The only thing more hated than Blizzard is AAA games.
Yeah. What did you think, Co? How was your experience with the full release
what do
of
I
Skull
think?
and Bones?
I will say the exact same thing that I said during the streams they paid me to play.
Yeah?
And that is that Skull and Bones is an interesting beast, because what they essentially did was they took a small part of another game and decided to make it its own thing. And it's one of the reasons that the game has been in development for so long, because there's not really like a super well done blueprint in how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the big problem with Skull and Bones, at heart, inherently, and at its core, is the fact that most people who play it know where it came from, understand that it's supposed to be a gamified version of Black Flag, and immediately when you say that, you get a lot of expectations to what that means. And I think the general consensus is that when you say that you take like the fun ship combat of Black Flag and make it its own game, I think the first initial impression is they're taking something small and making it big and awesome. And I think that's the big problem with Skull and Bones, is that people are expecting a big, deep, thorough, awesome version of the ship combat in Black Flag, where what they got was the bare minimum recreation of the ship combat in Black Flag, and everything else in the game is meant to feed into that super casual arcadey loop of ship on ship combat.
Yeah.
And I think that's where most people are so frustrated. They're like, what do you mean boarding is a cutscene? Why am I harvesting from the water? Like, running around these ports is useless and a waste of time. It doesn't do anything. The entire game of Skull and Bones is based on that. Ship to ship combat and all the stuff that comes with it. Everything else is a complete afterthought, not developed, arguably incredibly shallow. And I think a lot of people immediately are like, this isn't what I wanted. When I said I wanted the ship combat in Black Flag, this isn't what I meant. I didn't just want more ship combat. I wanted the ship combat in its own awesome, fully fleshed out, great, big, cool game. Not just more arcadey, casual ship combat. Like, I mean, and when people say, like, what do you mean by arcadey? Like, you're in this big ship. You get hit a bunch of times. You have one health bar. You pop open a quick menu and hit a button, and all of a sudden your health's back up to full, and it's like, shoot the red parts on the other ship. Like, this is as casual and arcadey as you could possibly make this. There's no simulator. There's no crew to manage. There's no boarding mini game. There's nothing. It's literally just.
This is boarding. Yeah.
That's that. Yeah. And even then, it's super annoying to aim those little hooks right. Like,
it sucks.
It's yeah.
I don't.
So.
Yeah.
I think
it's realistic.
That's what the problem. The problem.
It's hard to aim stuff on the ship on
So,
the sea.
but
it made it real.
You're not wrong. I mean, no, it's hard as hell to aim the things. It's dumb. But the point is and here's where there is some friction. They did recreate the ship combat from Black Flag. If that's all you're playing it for, it can be kind of cool sometimes. When you're fighting 5 other ships and 3 factions, and you're on the high seas, and there's waves, and you guys are like going by each other, blasting cannons, and people are yelling and firing, screaming explosions. It feels okay. Feels fine. If that's what you're playing it for, if you want a super casual arcadey ship combat game that you can jump in and out of with your friends, that's what Skull and Bones is. So if you just take it for what it is, it's kind of like, it's a super basic arcadey ship combat game. Cool. Great. But I think a lot of the anger and the vitriol that comes from this game is people that wanted it to be so much more. You've been in development for 7 years, and we got something that looks like you could have made in a year with a team a quarter the size? Like, what? Yeah. So, and $70?
That's the other big thing.
This is a $30 game. This is a $30 game at best.
Yeah.
Like,
$70
then you're gonna call
is
it
hard.
And then you're gonna call it quadruple A. Like, there's so many things that work against this game from a publicity standpoint, and Ubisoft has done nothing but exacerbate and make those things worse. One of the worst things that they could have done with Skull and Bones is try to say it was significantly better than it was. And that's exactly what they did, calling it a AAA game. Because that is a very quadruple A. It's a very amorphous term that not a lot of people understand. And yeah, it's mostly linked directly to budgets. And yeah, he probably was making a joke about the fact that it took so long to make with so many people. But that's not the message that's going to go out.
No, that
what
is
he
not
did
the
was create a
message.
meme
Yeah.
about how bad the game actually is. And now it's all people talk about.
It's the number one thing that is tied to this game is quadruple A.
And I mean, there's even more arguments for the fact about the thing. I think we talked about last week on the show, the Singapore thing.
Yeah, with the government.
Where it's like this game probably would have been canned unless the government forced it out, which is like another
didn't force it out.
So yeah, didn't force it out. Thank you. No. It would have been forced out because of the deals they had with them, right? I think that
it was forced out because of the deals.
Was forced out because we were on the same page. Yeah. So yeah, that's what Skull and Bones is. It's like, sure, if they want to sponsor me to play this game, yeah, it's ship combat. I'll go in with low expectations and I'll have my fun blasting ships, and that's it. It's not the worst game ever made. It's just, it doesn't meet people's expectations. It doesn't meet what they want from it. So it's just a very average, arcadey, basic ship combat game that looks kind of pretty. and that's it. And it's overpriced,
Well,
arguably.
That's the one thing that I was going to say. Like, I'm not going to play this. I fucking hate ship combat, so I'm never going to play this game.
This is not for you.
Ship combat's okay. I mean, the ship combat feels pretty good.
The one thing I say, like, we'll say, it's like this. It looks fucking beautiful. Like, it is really easy, really good to look at, and it's visually stunning. I will say that for it.
I don't know if there's any of the video we're watching, but when you're in like the open sea and they're doing these big ass waves that actually carry the ships up and down them, it looks phenomenal. It's one of the best, by far the best part of the game is probably how it looks.
Yeah, I would agree. That's what kept me playing. I played on my day off because it was just like, it was relaxing to just sail around, have like a very quick combat thing, go back to port and upgrade. It's just, it doesn't happen all that often because I play a lot of like games of service. I played Destiny 2. I've got 400 hours in that. I played 3,000 hours of Path of Exile, right? Like I understand and get into game loops and game grinds. At 14 hours, it was like time to get a new ship. And I pierced the veil of Skull and Bones and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And I alt F4'd and I haven't gone back.
Dude,
because it was so fast to like reveal itself to what I was doing that I was like, why the fuck am I doing this?
I love how somebody just called us in all caps in my chat shills. And it's like, bro, if this is us shilling Skull and Bones, we are the worst shills that have ever shilled.
We're not good at our
We're
jobs.
terrible at this.
Yeah,
we gotta work on this whole shill thing.
I will never play this. Like,
I'm
I'm
literally talking about how I just alt F4'd out of the game and I haven't played since.
And I spent 20 minutes saying a disclaimer, basically.
We're shilling hard.
Yeah, I had to say something that I thought was good about the game after you just shit on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it looks pretty. Oh, speaking of looking though, like I'm talking like it looks pretty, like the environment looking far away. I heard that like the facial animations and like it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Anything you get, anytime you get off the ship, the whole veneer falls apart. Be it the dialogue or what the pirates are saying or the facial, again, everything that's not on the ship is designed to bring you back to the ship pretty much as fast as possible, because that's where the game is.
Yeah.
By the way, somebody to be clear, because this is not a normal thing. Because again, a lot of people don't speak English. What is shilling? Shilling is when you speak super positively, favorably, or try to sell something that you may not personally believe is a good value or worth the money. So shilling would be like, oh yeah, this is like the best game ever and definitely worth $70 and amazing and everything's incredible and it's everything we wanted from the black, that's shilling. So yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say.
Someone who acts as
do not clip that. I swear to God.
Delay. Someone who acts as an enthusiastic customer to entice and encourage others.
Yeah.
Related to it, a swindler or an accomplice.
Yes, it generally has a negative connotation because it's obfuscating truth in a lot of ways. Like snake oil salesmen would shill their snake oil.
Right. Yeah, but
swindlers.
The question I think streamers always get asked, like, is this worth it? When I did the sponsored stream, I don't know if you did this as well, but I was very much like, Ubisoft Plus is probably the best way to play this game if you're wanting to check it out, because that's a $19 a month deal. $70 is steep for any game, let alone this. Check out Ubisoft Plus. Like that's
I say the same thing I ever do. I say watch what I'm playing, watch what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Do you like how many hours do you think you'll want to do this? And like how invested are you in that? And then that's going to mean if it's value for you. Do I think it's worth $70? I don't think I'll play the game enough to be worth $70 for me. Again, for the reasons I've already talked about.
Yeah.
Will some people? Sure. There's already people that are like max rank in this game. They have like 40 hours in the game already. Probably worth 70 for them, no problem. If you're really into the ship combat, if you're a Burke Black, then like that's your thing, that's what you do, then yeah, it's probably worth it for you.
Yeah.
Because that's the part of the game that shines.
the one person I wanted to like, do you have a temperature on like Burke Black because he's all over this? Like, is he just absolutely loving it, or
Yeah.
I
think
have
he
watched
generally likes
Burke
it.
Black numerous times during this, and it's kind of unfortunate. And I do not envy him, because this is a game that's built for his persona. He loves pirates. He wants to enjoy it so badly, but there are so many times where he just has to like defend his like of it, talk down people in chat that are talking badly about it. Like, he wants to enjoy it and wants to have fun. And I think he is. But I think he is because he's getting something out of it that not everyone would be able to. Like, that's his thing. Like, he loves sailing pilot ships and doing that. So yeah, I mean, he's pretty far in it. He's enjoying it. I've definitely been in there a couple times where you can tell it's like it's very frustrating to have to defend what you like.
And that's pretty
all
much
the
his
time.
stream. Yeah. Because everyone, word of the day, hate boner, has a hate boner for Skull and Bones, right? Like, it's
Fun to hate.
Yeah, it's very easy to hate.
And a lot of times you guys don't see this in chat, but I can say this, and I'm sure JP can echo this. The amount of first-time chatters that drop in and say hateful comments about games like Skull and Bones, that's when streamers can really tell there's something going on. Like, there's something different or unique about a game. When you start seeing over and over and over and over, first thing they've ever said on the channel, this game is garbage, this game is shit, this game is terrible, who would ever pay this game, why are you playing this? Like first thing they said. Don't care about the stream, never been there before, drop in, super hateful comment. And there were a lot of those at Skull and Bones.
Yeah. That between
the last biggest game I can think of that did that was Diablo 4.
Suicide Squad. I got a lot of that with Suicide Squad. I don't know if you did.
A little. I only played the good 2-hour beginning before they get into the mission structure and stuff. So I had more people say that they were somewhat surprised because but again, that was one of the most Suicide Squad was one of the probably hardest hit publicly before release games that I've seen in a long time. I thought that game was going to be garbage. I seriously thought that game was going to be, for just reading Twitter and other people's opinions, I thought I was going to get into that game and just immediately start vomiting. It's like, hey, we're playing Suicide Squad. Just, but no, it wasn't good, but it certainly was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving forward.
Moving on.
Did either of you, I watched the updates on the Xbox business in full. Did either of you catch any of that?
Nope.
It was, you didn't miss a single fucking thing. I mean, I
made popcorn for it. It was great.
Like, I don't even know how to talk about it because the whole thing was just absolutely strange. And even when I made the video and put it up on YouTube, I said in the video, like, I don't know why I'm publishing this video. Like, there's nothing of substance in this 23-minute podcast. And I don't know, a lot of commentary both on that video and just at large that I saw was because of influencers thinking that it was going to like be a revolutionary or like a moment in gaming type deal where they were just going to go in there and like announce no more exclusive titles on Xbox, blah, 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 blah. And it was not that at all. It was, hey, we're going to have 4 titles, but we're not going to tell you what those 4 titles are at all. But we're going to talk about what those 4 titles, 2 of them are big games, 2 of them are small games. And then like right after that, I think Verge leaked who the 4 or what the 4 games are that are going to other titles. It was a very strange 20-minute thing that it felt so reactionary to like the internet being the internet. They could have just put out a blog post like same day and it would have saved everyone's time, I feel. It was just a weird thing.
They were trying to dilute it a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't think they wanted to put a bullseye on themselves that quickly afterward. That's my guess at least.
Yeah. What were the 4 games? 4 games are Sea of Thieves, God damn it, Chad, help me. Sea of Thieves. What's the Obsidian game that came out?
Avowed?
Or no, sorry. Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, and Pentiment. Those are the 4 games that are going to be on Xbox eventually. Or sorry, on PlayStation eventually. And I think Hi-Fi Rush is going on Switch or something like that. It's still not officially confirmed, but that was like the leak that that Verge had. The Verge had. And that was like the biggest thing to come out of that. And then they also announced that Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass in March. That'll be the first of the Blizzard titles to be put on Game Pass. And that was kind of it. The other half of it was like invest. We invest. Please invest. It was a lot of invest at the end of it. It was a very strange thing. You don't need to watch the video if you're wondering if you missed anything. It was just a weird thing. Yeah, Starfield and Indiana Jones are also not a part of that. That was part of the other rumors that were leaked, or that were quote unquote leaked. And then tune into the June showcase for more Xbox stuff. So it was kind of a nothing burger at the end of the day with all of that. So I don't even want to discuss it anymore. What else was there? The Embracer stuff, we kind of jumped around. They did confirm they are laid off 1,400 employees and said that more cuts are coming. As well as, what was it? They canceled they've canceled 20 to 30 games or something since it's just like, what? They also said, wasn't there like an exact quote where they talked about organic growth? Embracer. It's like, what?
It's interesting because I mean,
what is it?
I think me and many others were like so excited about Embracer when all this stuff happened, and we were like, oh man, they're going around and saving all these studios and giving them the resources to make their games and all this stuff. And then here we are a couple years later, they're literally shutting down or dismantling most of what they bought. And then they release the most like ridiculous, like, our only thing we care about is shareholder value. Nothing else matters.
Oh,
and it's just like, yeah, we get it. That's how companies function and everything. But believe it or not, there are times when companies can care about things that aren't just the bottom line. Like you can give a modicum of care to other things. But yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like it makes such a schism between, understanding that there's companies like Embracer and then there's companies like Larian. It's like there's companies that care about the product they're putting out, and there's companies that literally could not care if they release a game or a pornography video or a new coffee brand. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as it makes money. That's the only thing that matters, is the bottom line. And it just happens to be video games for this company. But they're not a company to make games.
What was the last, hold on, you gave examples. What was the last thing you said, Co?
I think it was cats?
It sounded like you said coffee bread?
Coffee brand. Yeah,
coffee brand.
But yeah, my point is
bread, and why haven't I heard of it?
My point is that it's like it's obviously companies are here to make money, but it's just it feels like it's so unfortunate when it gets to a point where that's the only concern of the company, where that's it. And then it's even more unfortunate when they're in an industry that is not all about money. Like, if you only want to make money in video games, then obviously you go mobile, or you go, like there's all sorts of ways, or you go cosmetics like Diablo 4, you go, there's always these ways to make money. But it's like, to go after the small companies, to acquire all these companies that are making like small indie games, and then take this like shotgun approach of, we're just going to buy all these companies and hope one of them has a runaway hit and we'll just shutter everyone else. Like it's just, yeah, it sucks, man. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks that that's the company they ended up being.
Yeah. And
really
in all likelihood will continue to be.
They've made it clear.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, that Embracer's probably on the way out, or they're on the way to selling most of their companies just to make back money for their shareholders. I mean, they've said they've basically put their roadmap public.
Yeah.
And that is, expect nothing to change until we're making more money, and we don't have any hits on the way. So I mean, the only way we're going to make money is by divesting from our people, essentially.
Yep.
So, oof.
Yep. Not a good.
It sucks.
Good time for Embrace or anyone under that flag, as it were.
Can you imagine being somebody that works for an Embracer company and hears stuff like that? Like what that must do to you? To like be pouring your heart and soul, putting in extra extra hours, and then just hear the company that decides your fate be like, the only thing we care about is if you make us money. That's it. That's the only concern we have of you as your boss.
Yeah.
I mean, we had this conference, the same like hypothetical thing, talking about like, how would you like to be someone who works for Unity right now? It's just like, I'm not a bad guy. I work here. It's a great job, you know?
Yeah. The unfortunate aspect of that is, I'm sure outside of the video game industry, that's like rampant. That's what a large.
Well, I mean honestly, I think it's one of the reasons we're seeing so many indies pop up, and more power to them. Where it's like, get out from that umbrella. You know, keep your passion, keep your motivation, keep your soul, and not have it be crushed by corpo intent.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like the next few years especially are, I mean, I think if they haven't already, I feel like a lot of game devs under companies that own Embracer are probably trying to get out or preparing to get out. Because it's like, you know, generally, and I'm gonna use this as a very blanket statement, but I'm gonna say this, and I think I'm gonna mean it. I don't feel that most people in game dev are in it for the money. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but I would say that most people in game dev are not in it for the money. So with that in mind, I would think that all this stuff that's been happening this last year is probably a huge wake-up call for this industry. And I think we're going to see some serious changes in the next couple of years.
Yeah,
I would amend that. I would say they don't get into it for the money. Like, that shit changes, right?
Fair. That's fair. Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's different when you enter a job, and it's another thing when you've been working overtime for 10 years and you're kind of like, I'm ready to have a success so I can take a vacation. Like, you know, you're not wrong. But you know, I do think that there's people that keep the passion. And even if you are in it to make money, I think you can still have the passion. Those aren't mutually exclusive, is what I'm saying. You can be an Embracer, but you can also have a passion to deliver a viable and good product. They just publicly stated that's not their concern. That's all. So,
yeah,
you know, there you go.
They just exist to make money. More so than other people, or other companies, not people. Yeah. Well, on that very joyous note, Zeke, you jumped into Golden Sun and fell in love with it? Question mark? Like
I did.
Yeah, how
I really did.
Is
like,
that?
Well, it ended up being a game choice for the if then thing I do monthly. So you get Fabled Onion chose Golden Sun.
Yeah.
And I thought I had played this. I thought I had played this years ago. And turns out I did not. I never played this one, or I unknowingly played the sequel to it, because the carts are very similar looking, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I only played a little bit of it because it was my friend's cart and his Game Boy Advance. And I was just playing it over at his house. Yeah, I never played it, and I fired it up, and it's fantastic. It's really, really fun. Like it's I can see why so many people, Rami included, have so much love for this game, because it is it has a deceptively deep mechanic to it that you don't need to take advantage of per se. But like there are like it's the Djinn. I say Djinn.
Okay.
Sorry.
The Djinn.
I've been mispronouncing things on purpose throughout this entire game, like Synergy, Djinn. You know, just because it's funny.
Sure.
Wait, Synergy?
But the Synergy. P Synergy.
Oh.
No, I'm serious. It's like Synergy with a P on it.
Yeah.
But it's probably still
Synergy.
pronounced like Synergy. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, there's this mechanic in the game where you get these Pokemon and you socket them, and they have there's 4 different elements for them: earth, wind, fire, and water. And there's like charts like on the internet of like combos that give you different stuff, and like you get all kinds of these things, and you can like mix and match them and do all this random shit. You don't need to, but it's a surprisingly deep system for how not difficult the game really is. I wanted it to be more utilized, and I wanted the game to be a little bit more difficult. But I mean, it's still very fun. But it's I spent a lot of time like playing around with that until it just got too much. I'm just like, I need a chart in front of me, or I'm just gonna play it core, give them their core abilities, and just play it simple, which I kind of have been doing anyways. However, it's got a lot of stuff that I could see at the time was very innovative. Your movement speed around the map is much faster than most JRPGs that I've played in that NES, Super NES era. You actually move pretty goddamn quick, which is nice. What was the other thing? There's a couple of other like quality of life things. Now, I did want to like, I'm not playing on the original hardware because it didn't work. Either my cart or my player was
for the Game Boy Advance
malfunctioning or not working, whatever.
Yeah.
And so this is I'm
you gotta
playing it another way.
Well, these little things. You seen these? Where it's got the the pockets, I think is what this is called. Or sorry, yeah, the analog.
Does it have
yeah, it's got a cartridge thing.
Does it have HDMI out?
Yeah. I think it has USB-C out, which you could put video out on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I got to get one of those then.
They're good.
Does it play old Game Boy and Game Boy Advance?
It plays everything.
Okay, it plays.
It can run. It can run software, but it has cartridges. It has a cartridge as well that I think can take different inputs. But yeah. Cool.
Maybe that's the thing I need to get. Is it expensive?
I think it's like $100, or I got it for a gift for Christmas, so I don't know the exact price.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
Yep.
Anyways, Golden Sun is fantastic. The story is not like anything revolutionary. It's not like fuck it. I'll never remember it now. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I'll never remember it. The other, like, one of the best of all RPGs of all time. Chrono Trigger. That's what I was trying to think
of. Oh, okay.
It's not like a really cool, like, awesome story. Like, I'm not like blown away by it like I kind of was for Chrono Trigger, but it's good. It's a decent story. There's a lot of parts that are really long-winded that I if I was playing it casually on my own, I'd be like, And one part which I did was there's a ship part where you go on a ship and it has nothing to do with the main story, at least as far as I know. So it didn't seem very. They just keep talking and talking and talking. I'm just like, but the combat is fun. I like how it's if
I can find
it's turn-based combat, but you can finagle, you can mess around with it as far as who goes first, and then there's the introduction of the rainbow kills, is what they're called. When you time an enemy kill with a certain element attached to your sword, it's just a timing thing that it makes easy battles a little more strategic, a little more fun, because you get like better experience, better drops out of it. So like doing that has added a little bit of an extra element of fun to it. It's not necessary at all. You don't need to do it, but it's fun to be like, okay, if I do this and then I do that, I defend, and then I attack, I should be able to kill it. And when you get it right, you're like, yeah.
Yeah. It's a feel-good game thing. Cool.
Yeah. Oh, lots of puzzles too, which I didn't know. I love them. Like there's rolling log puzzles. There's like, put freeze on a puddle and it grows like an ice platform puzzles. Like there's tons of puzzles in this game that I did. I'm completely unaware, but very pleasantly surprised.
Cool.
Yeah. And also the summons in the game, the spells, the way they look, the summons and the spells, they look fantastic for the era. It's really, really fun.
Nice. Where does this? Because I never played the Golden Sun stuff. It was I just never jumped into it. What like length of game are we talking about here? Do you know?
I've heard for a normal player like 25 hours, something like that. But
Okay.
I'm far from normal, and I'm playing it casually as I can. So I'm a little bit further in than that.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me a bit longer, but yeah, I'm going to continue it. I haven't finished yet, but I'm going to be playing it on Fridays. Is I've dubbed Finish It Friday.
Nice.
Stupid. I'm going to be games that I really want to finish, but not real good viewership business wise. We'll have a day relegated for those games I'm really enjoying and I want to finish, but I can't continue day to day, back to back.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense. Cool. Golden Sun, you and Rami will have to bond over over having played it. He loves this game. Can't get enough of this game.
Oh, it's and I would be absolutely 100% like shirking my duties, or not shirking, but like forgetting the music. Holy fuck.
Oh, it's good.
The music in the game is fan-fucking-tastic. It is really, it's noticeably good.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's Golden Sun. Originally released 2001. August 1st.
Yeah.
On the
Yep.
that was the Game Boy Advance, right? And then re-released on the DS, I think is what it was. Forget my.
Oh, did it get released on the DS? I don't think the same version got released on the DS, did it?
Okay. I'm not sure.
This is the game right there.
Yeah, it's the old physical thing. Cool. I've played a little bit of this off stream. I think you were playing it this morning. I don't know if you played anymore. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. It's good.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Oh my God, I'm loving it.
You're gonna talk about this game, and then I think I haven't figured out, or rather, I haven't read in game what the fuck certain things do. So talk about the game, and then I'm gonna have you fill me in on how some of the mechanics work.
All the time. As gamers, we talk all the time about games copying other games.
Yep.
And that leads into a large, big, open discussion. And whenever we talk about it on my channel, and I think you guys are similar, we talk about how game dev is iterative. And what that means is that you take a good idea that's not always yours, and that you iterate on it, doing something interesting or special to put a new spin or an updated take on that. And that's one of the ways game dev thrives, is that old games keep getting iterated on, and then those iterations get iterated on, and all of a sudden we get really cool games that have tons of mechanics that were literally built on the backs of other games before it. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is a fantastic example of an auto shooter iteration. And it's taking like all the stuff I liked from Vampire Survivors, which is very similar to this, and adding in all sorts of new little things that make it far more interesting and engaging for me. So one of the things that, when Vampire Survivors first came out, it's like, yeah, there were a couple things you could go get around the map, but, really it was all about just avoiding the enemies and shoot them, get levels, get power-ups, that kind of thing. Now, granted, Vampire Survivors has since gotten a lot more interesting in terms of, items to work towards and things like that. But when I was playing it back in the day when it just came out, there really wasn't a lot of that. It was just kind of like, survive, move around, get some hearts, that kind of thing. DRG Survivors takes that base loop and does all sorts of fun things to add it. The thing that I really love about this is the new mining stuff. It not only forces you to go around and explore the map, but it also has you prioritizing resources, making judgment on how much time you can spend on them, making risks and potentially losing runs based on getting those resources. So it adds this whole level that isn't really there in a lot of other types of shooters of this genre. On top of that, it has a huge amount of weapons, 4 different classes. It has 3 different maps. It is early access, so a lot of stuff is still coming. But it also has an evolution mechanic, which is pretty cool and offers some serious upgrades. And passive ability stuff with this. It takes an established franchise of Deep Rock Galactic, which a lot of people already love and like, and then it iterates this awesome auto shooter on top of it that just works. And I do want to point out that whoever came up with this over at the DRG crew, brilliant synergy. Like the idea of what you do in DRG in this auto shooter world works perfectly. It works perfectly. Like the whole, I mean, even like the drop in and out thing that DRG has is in this game and it works great. And they even have lore that explains it. So the two words that come to mind with this game is just total win.
Yeah.
I mean, it's $8. It's fun.
It's a good price.
It's you can get tons of hours out of it if you enjoy the loop. It's difficult, but at the same time, there's lots of great strategy. There's lots of great strategy to learn. So it's like you will progressively get better, not only through unlocking all the passives and learning the classes, but just by learning how to play the game. Like there's a level of actually like gained skill you get from playing it. But yeah, it's great, dude. It's early access, so we're gonna be seeing more updates. We're gonna be seeing more stuff come. And the last thing I'll say about it is not only does everything I say stand true, but it's also by a company that has proven time and time again that they love their products, they love making their products, and there's a lot of passion in here. And I love it.
Talk to me about the game because I need to understand some systems. Can a weapon... Sure. So right there, if we you just upgraded the weapon, but it increases the weapon level. What happens when that weapon level gets all the way filled? What does it? Is that the way that it works process or what?
Whenever you upgrade a weapon, there are two things at play. There is the effect of the upgrade, which is like fire rate, reload, damage, and then there is the levels that it adds. Every weapon has a bar next to it with 5 pips and then a large pip. And once you pass the large pip, not land on it, but pass it, then you unlock an evolution for that weapon. Now, not all weapons have evolutions when you first get them, which is why this is a little confusing.
Yeah,
in fact, when you first get a weapon, you have to level it 13 times. You have to get to the 12th pip and then get one more, and that will unlock the evolution of that weapon for the next time you play. So the first time you use a weapon, it has 11 small pips and 1 big pip. If you then fill that up, the next time you get that weapon in game, it'll have 18 pips with 3 key pips at 6, 12, and 18.
Got it.
And every one of those is a 2-choice upgrade. So a good example is you get turrets later.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time you use turrets, it's pretty rough because you can only level it up to 12. You don't get any evolution, and then you're done. But then when you get that and go back in, when you get to level 6, you're going to get 2 options. And the options are randomized. But they're going to be options like put 3 more turrets down quickly, or your turrets follow you. And then then you get level 12. And then it's like, okay, do you want your turrets to be able to mine walls for you? Or do you want them to fire electric shots? And then you get to the last one, and it's like, do you want your turrets to do a little bit less damage, but fire like 150% faster? Or do you want your turrets to seek out and blow up on enemies when they deploy? So it's that kind of thing. And every single weapon has that path as well.
Cool.
There's even an icon that shows you if you've unlocked those or not when you're selecting weapons, which is really handy. So the short of it is there's 5 different difficulties from hazard 1 to hazard 5. You want to spend the low hazards unlocking weapon potential. And then when you go into the mid and high hazards, you want to only basically be using unlocked weapons because you need that extra bit of power.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I just looked at Steam. I've barely put 2 hours into it. So that's probably why I haven't encountered the level up thing that you were just describing.
One of the best things you can do is whenever you get a weapon for the first time, make it a point to get that weapon and level it to 13. And then the second that's done, put it to the side and start working on another weapon. So your first... And every time you unlock a class, you unlock their shared weapons and their unique weapons. So, and there's 4 classes. So, and you do that by doing various challenges and stuff inside the game. So there's a lot of the TLDR. There's a lot of progression in this game and lots of reasons to keep playing it. And the gameplay loop is fun enough to keep it interesting.
Yeah. Someone in chat was asking.
It's 12 total. Oh, it is just 12. So hold on. Time out. Let me make sure I get the right info out. When you're getting, so chat is saying you just get it to 12 and it unlocks the weapon, which I think may be right. That's not the same for the 6, 12, and 13, right? I'm pretty sure when you get to 6 pips, you have to get the next level for it to unlock the, maybe I'm wrong. I'll look into this more.
Yeah, chat's saying side weapons are 12, primary weapons are 18. Hit 12 to unlock the overclocks, sorry.
Overclocks, yeah, which are evolutions. Yeah, overclocks.
And then it's
evolutions.
6, 12, and 18 for an overboost on future runs.
Okay, I could have sworn I had to get the level after the pip, but Chad is saying it's on the pip, which is fine. It's minor detail.
Yeah, minor detail.
Minor detail.
Cool. Yeah, this game's great. I've played it only off stream. Zeke is. I think you also play a lot of the auto battlers. You should play this.
I played the demo.
Okay, yeah,
It was great.
It's right up your.
It's
alley.
fantastic. I will definitely be, or not definitely. I will be as sure as I can checking it out.
Yeah, it's
on
good.
stream.
It seems like the perfect, and I've seen this in chat as well. It seems like the perfect Steam Deck game, just to pop on and jump in. I think auto battlers in general are just like the perfect handheld game.
Auto shooters.
Auto shooters, yeah. Sorry, auto battlers is something else. It's good, and it's $8. It's on sale right now, right? It's $10 initially.
It's like $9 now.
Okay.
And the best part is it's early access. So not only is this worth $8 right now, but it's got a bunch more content coming.
Yeah. Cool. That's Deep Rock Galactic Survivor.
Quick note. If you are going to pick up this game, they do offer an optional supporter pack. You can pay more for this game to help support the devs. And I will say this, if you like auto shooters, it's worth the supporter pack.
What do you get for it?
Something to consider. Let me see. I think there may be some minor stuff with it though, but let me see here. I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
Deep Rock Galactic Survivor Supporter Pack. It is $4.99.
Oh, that's
and
not so bad.
It gives you.
I was thinking like a $70 horse or something.
A prestigious golden skin for all 4 classes, a fancy supporter badge on the main menu game logo, and our heartfelt and eternal thanks of gratitude heart.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, for $5 extra.
Yep.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Final big release of the week. I have not checked this out at all. I think this was sponsored. Banishers Goes to New Eden. Was that a sponsored thing?
I did a sponsored 2-hour and then a follow-up 2-hour.
Okay, Zeke, did you play it? You had a thumbs up or something. Okay.
I had a sponsored 2-hour as well, and I'm gonna jump into it next week.
Oh, you enjoyed it that much? You're going back?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk
I
about
it's really cool when a sponsored game is like, this is fucking really cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, talk about it, because I've seen countless story trailers for this game, and then at the very last they put out like the gameplay trailer. And so that's what I don't know is like what is the gameplay of this? Is it action RPG?
The gameplay is adventure. It is a relatively standard adventure game, kind of like Vampire, which was another game by these devs. It involves, exploring relatively linear areas that have items to pick up, things to uncover. There's some mechanics that are kind of like a Witcher sight kind of thing that will let you see some extra stuff. But the main kind of mechanic you're doing is you're kind of solving cases, you're solving possessions and issues. So, you're going around, to boil it down, you're just walking up to things and clicking A, getting some story stuff, walking somewhere else, clicking A, getting some story stuff, that kind of thing. But gameplay is relatively, I would say, basic, as is the combat. Just to kind of get into it. So I played the 2-hour sponsored stream and I liked it. This game has cool characters. It has great dialogue and it has great voice acting. It is Don't Nod. So, they're the makers of Vampire, the makers of Life is Strange. So they have a good backbone for being able to deliver the narrative. The narrative itself is also pretty cool. In fact, all the stuff I just mentioned is why I went back to continue playing it. Unfortunately for me, the rest of the game was just a little bit lackluster. Like if I didn't have 5 other games I was playing right now, it's the kind of thing where I'd probably dive in and play a little bit more. But the combat does some weird stuff, especially with the camera. There were some design decisions I really didn't like there. The running around and area. I played for 4 hours and people were telling me I was still kind of like in the tutorial area. But even then, I found the tutorial area a little just lackluster. It didn't really grab me as much. I will say, from a story perspective, I did get to what I would argue is like probably the big decision in the game. And if there's one thing that was going to get me to the end of this game, it would be seeing the ramifications of the decision there, which I think
Cool.
will really interest a good amount of.
Having watched the
and-
trailer, I know what you're talking about, I think.
Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah.
So it again, like the game is there's parts about the game I really like, and there were parts about the game that were just kind of okay, and the whole thing together for me was not quite enough to get me to play past my second stream. Oh, these aren't really spoilers, Zeke, if that's what you're worried about.
No, I think his light.
No.
went out. He's trying to figure it
I'm
out.
trying to fix my lights.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Notice on, you know,
One of my lights went out.
That was.
I'm being careful not to spoil it because I know you're playing it. But yeah, so the short of it is solid dialogue, seemingly very cool story. Like there's a lot of good parts in this game.
Cool.
It's just there were enough parts for me that were just kind of okay that it wasn't quite enough to kick it up to, you know, main game of the mainstream kind of thing for me.
Cool. Yeah.
Playing it kind of reminded me of like the core of the game reminded me of Supernatural. It's two people go into a town. They have to do some research about like what's going on. Like, okay, there's a ghost here. Why is there a ghost here? Okay, this, and this. Gather clues, gather info, and then like, okay, we know what's going on. Go take care of the ghost. Just like, you know, the formulaic kind of Supernatural, like how those episodes go.
Yeah.
But the dialogue is like Ko was saying, dialogue and voice acting, all stupendous. I love the look of it. I played it on easy, so I didn't get like any sort of like feel for like if the combat was satisfying or whatever. I usually do that with sponsor streams so I can get through the like. So I can show you a little bit of the combat, but show you more of the game.
Right.
But I did get to the I think the first boss fight-ish thing. And the fight itself wasn't like, it was good. It was fun. But the cutscenes, oh, they were so good. Like that was where I was just like, dude, that's awesome. Like I don't want to spoil it, but what happens is just, it's really fun to watch, and it's really action heavy, which I dig. But yeah, I got to that part. That was the end of the 2 hours that I had with it. So I didn't get like, what did you play on? Did you play on normal?
Very hard.
Oh, you played on very hard. Did you have a hard time?
Not really. No. I definitely died more than a few times, but it was more like just kind of learning the combat and stuff. You do take a lot of damage on very hard. The problem is that like it to get into a little bit more. One of the biggest issues I have is when you're attacking, the camera is attached to a part of the character that moves around a ton. So when you're spamming like right click, your camera, instead of being right behind and watching, your camera's doing this because it's like attached to like your character and your character's moving, which was a terrible decision because on very hard, you have to spam attacks a lot. So you're constantly in this like weird, like there were people in my chat complaining of motion sickness during combat.
Oh God.
And I too was kind of like, you know, when I really started noticing it, I was like, this is not like, I do not like this. I was looking for options to turn it off, stuff like that. It's one of those like small design decisions, but it can be a big deal. But that being said, it wasn't difficult. It was definitely a little spammy. You'll see here when I'm fighting, you like, it takes, you know, 6 to 8 hits to kill a normal enemy, where I think when you were doing it, it was
on
like
easy,
1 to 2,
it's
right?
2.
Yeah. So it's a very different feel. Yeah. Especially when you have multiple enemies attacking you.
Yeah. Good to know. But so that's good. Like when I play it, I'll probably play it on easy. Like just because if the combat is not like super rewarding, I know the story is good, or at least what I've seen of it.
Story seems really good. If nothing else,
yeah.
Even if the story's not good, it's going to be told well. Like, which you know, that's big.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it's like the graphics are good too. Like it's fun to look at. So yeah, I'll probably play it on easy and play it for the story. I'm pretty sure the difficulty settings are only for like combat and stuff. I'm hoping it's not for like the mysteries and like, you know, that kind of shit. Like I don't want my puzzles easier. I just want my combat to go quickly. And also it kind of reminds me of like the Yakuza Like a Dragon stuff, where it's like, I don't really care about the combat. It's not super satisfying. All I want to see are the heat moves. You know, all I want to see in this game is like the cutscenes from the bosses, because those are really cool.
I mean, that's cool and all. Did you just call the combat of Yakuza not fulfilling?
Oof. Long conversation ahead. I gotta leave the room.
Hey, it's opinion, man. Just, are we gonna have beef over this?
There's a difference between opinions and facts, big guy.
Okay.
Well,
Banishers Ghost of New Eden is $49.99. Steve.
No, listen. The biggest reason why, for me, as far as like to answer your question, as far as the Yakuza Like a Dragon games, usually not the RPG style ones, but like the action combat ones, you can just spam stamina X if you have.
Oh yeah, no, I dropped those difficulties too. We're good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
it. Just seems like I was opening my menu more and more just to get through fights. I'm like, why the fuck am I bothering?
Dude, I mean, my favorite part of Yakuza, no question, is when I'm in a heated battle and I stop to eat 17 seaweed onigiris in the middle of a punch.
Excuse me, I'm going to have a bento box or 4.
Yeah,
man,
like
I
literally,
watched,
like mid punch, pause.
Yep,
and then unpause, connect.
I watched.
Yeah, he's like, he's gonna hit me with that super flamey fist. I better drink a boss coffee.
Donkey put out a video on Infinite Wealth, and that was the first time I had seen like some of the deeper, like mid to late game stuff that he included in that video. That game just fucking seems crazy. Like none of it was main quest stuff. It was all just side story shit, and I was just like, I don't recommend it if you're playing it because I think it is somewhat spoilery. But that game just seems fucking nuts in terms of the subject matter, in terms of the stories that.
It's
just wild.
Just quick segue here. I am on, let's see, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I am currently 54 hours in.
Okay.
Not halfway through the main story. And I have not done a single stream of this game where I have not been like, what the is that? Like, what is going on? Like, every single stream, there has been at least one of those things.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. It's phenomenal.
Some of this shit, I'm not going to say what it was because I know people are very close to the chest with spoilers, but some of the stuff I was just like, what the fuck is this game? There's so much weird shit going on in this game outside of the main story. And then you go to the main story and it's like a very serious story of like seriousness and cool macho guy shit. Then you go to the side story stuff and it's like, is this the same fucking game? What the hell am I watching here?
It's the beauty of a Yakuza game.
That might just be Yakuza in a nutshell, yeah.
It's one of the only franchises that to this day can combine like the most zany off the wall shit with some of the most serious, like gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, real things, and it works. It somehow works. Well, for a lot of us. For some people it doesn't at all. But
yeah, some people bounce off, sure.
Yeah, some people that completely kills it for them. But I think it's amazing. I love that about it. It's a total package game for sure.
Zeke, when is are you still trying to
I'm gonna
not play it and not talk about it? When does your playthrough start for that?
Oh, I don't have a planned date for it. Just like when it fits in a couple months.
Okay.
I just want to give people enough time to, like, if they're going to play it, you know, and get it done, or at least get ahead of me or whatever.
Yeah.
And kind of want to like give it some room to breathe so people aren't like coming off being sick of it or had too much of it or whatever. So
Yeah.
But I will be playing it. I played every single Like a Dragon up till this point on stream, so this won't be any different.
Cool. Anything else? We said it was going to be a shorter show. That's kind of everything I have to discuss. Anything you guys want to bring in?
Just a couple things. I finished Pal World.
Finished?
I mean,
what does that
by
mean?
finished, I know by finished, it's a early access, blah blah blah. But like, I caught every single Pal, all 137, 138 of them.
Holy shit!
I beat all the towers.
You grinded, goddamn.
And I got all the map. I got all the map bosses or whatever they call them.
Wow,
I got all those too. So.
What's your favorite pal? Who's your pal of choice? That's something. Someone's moving a chair in Ko's office.
I don't know what that was. Played
Sometimes
time,
you guys
just
can
to
hear
answer the
that and I
question.
can't. Oh, sorry.
Looks like 128 hours for me
Yeah.
to do all those.
Yeah, but who's the go-to pal? Who was your favorite pal you took into battle?
Well, that's a thing. Like my favorite pals, like you kind of swap out due to elements.
Yeah.
So like, like Pokemon, like fire beats ice and grass or whatever. So like if you're fighting grass, you get on a fire Pokemon because they add that to your weapon, or find the Pokemon that does that, or the pal. So my favorites are the mounts, like the fastest mounts. I found like
you got the jet.
Just serendipitously. No. The funny thing is about the fastest mount, you have to be max level, like or close to max level to get it and to create the saddle for it. So you don't end up using that very much because it's at the end of the game.
Right.
So the thing I used the most, I would say, for probably like 40% of the game was a mount called Phalaris, which is I think the third fastest flying mount.
Okay.
But it also has the best stamina to quickness ratio. And I found one with Swift on it, which is the
modifier.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, modifier to it.
Yep.
So I was very lucky to find one with Swift.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do much of the breeding except for to fill in like my pal decks.
Yeah.
That's all I did breeding for. I didn't breed for like traits or anything like that. I was just like, okay, that's going down the list. I don't have this one. Bloop.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I will say, like, why would they even put building shelters and stuff in the game? Like, you don't need it. Building like your base with like, your ranch and your rock quarry and your, all that shit, totally fine. But like, I slept in like it was like, picture a 6-sided dice, but missing 2 sides. Like that's what I slept in because it needed a roof.
Yeah.
And 2 walls. And that's what I slept in. The rest of it, you don't need it. You don't need any sort of like building at all.
Right.
So like, I was prepared to build like, okay, I'm gonna have to build a whole thing. You don't bother. If you don't want to, if it doesn't give you satisfaction to build nice like buildings, you don't need to. Just build yourself a little tiny hut with a bed underneath it. You can have a bed, and that's all you need.
Zeke's
or if you want to incubate eggs, you got to cover them with a
Zeke's the Marie Kondo of Pal World. If it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it.
Yes, does this bring you joy?
Yeah. It's so funny to me that people are like, God, Pal World's falling off. The numbers. It's got 300,000 people playing right now. What the fuck do you mean it's falling off? That game's still wildly popular. It's so weird to see that conversation on the internet where it's like, no one's playing the game anymore.
Hey, you know what? If I would gladly fall off after 7 million sales, just throwing that out there. Yeah. That's just fine. At what, 30 a pop or however much it was?
Yeah.
My lord.
No, 12 million sales, 7 on Game Pass. That's what it was.
Oh.
Yeah, even more. More. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah.
And it's early access. It's not even released yet.
Yeah.
It's early access.
The community manager put out that statement and he was like, no, people are saying like doom and gloom. It's like, this is great. You don't have to play Pal World. He kind of Yoshi P'd it where he's like, we want you to take breaks from this game and come back when we update it. Like that's Also, exactly I'm going to jump back into my pit of money now and Scrooge McDuck my way through. And we'll see. We'll talk to you in a couple months. Yeah. But it's also still doing massively successful. 300,000 people right now playing. So
I actually retweeted that what you're talking about.
Yeah, the community manager.
From Bucky CM.
He's really good.
I just love I love that. I love the positive but realistic take. That's great.
Yep.
Bucky's good people.
Yeah, I got all the things. I just wish like the fastest mounts. Like I rode it around for the last 5% of the game, and it was great. The Jet Dragon, like,
oh yeah,
it's awesome. I just wish I could have got it earlier because like there's nothing else. Like I didn't need to go anywhere else because like I saw all the places and did all the things. So like fuck.
Yeah.
And it is drastically faster than any other mount you get.
Oh, it's it's a jet. Like that's why everyone's calling it the Jet Pal. Yeah. Cool. Zeke, anything else you finished? I'm surprised you you played that much. That's a lot of playtime on the old Pal World.
Well, it just it caught me, but it caught me before Enshrouded, which I'm glad it did because I've had, you know, I had a fun time with it. However, Enshrouded, it got me bad.
Oh
It
yeah,
got me bad, bro.
after
I'm
that
thinking about it right
sponsored
now. Yeah, no,
Love
I
it.
absolutely I'm playing it on my own and I really, really like it. It's a survival game, like with it hits all my personal like wants. There are certain things that quality of life shit that I would like the ability to move shit around with stuff in it. You know, they don't give you the ability to build from inventory right away. You have to like work towards that, which whatever.
Yeah.
But the game gives you so much shit to do. I don't know if that continues, how long that continues, but like I
pretty good amount of
consistently
time.
have 7 or 8 quests just waiting for me when I fire it up. I'm like, all right, got a menu of shit to do. What do I want to do today? And I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Oh, I'm having a great time with it.
Nice. Well, we've got, I guess, looking forward to the week ahead. You got another survival game coming out with Nightingale. That's launching the 22nd or 20th, something like that.
Can't wait for that one. 20th.
Playing it on the 22nd. Might be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
There
confirmed yet, but
might be some sponsored streams coming up for that. The video, they put out that video for it. Looks a hell of a lot better than what I played when they did their stress test. I'm hoping that when I actually have to like, do the survival game loop of slowly working your way through a tech tree type deal, it's actually a little bit more enjoyable than that stress test where I was just crashing fucking for everything. We'll see when it comes out. There's another game out this week as well outside of
Pacific
that.
Drive, Lost Epoch.
Yes, Pacific Drive. And what was the second one you said?
Lost Epoch.
Oh, yes, that's on Wednesday, right? For that. Are you doing a sponsored stream for that, Co? Are they doing? I don't even know if they're doing sponsored streams.
I wish I was.
Yeah, I was kind of. They did some sponsored stuff in the past, but it was mostly with like PoE streamers that I saw, which makes sense trying to convert that audience. But yeah, that's got the most buzz, at least with my community. Is playing Last Epoch? What build are you gonna play? Blah blah blah. So,
I'm getting a lot of that.
yeah, I have no idea what I'm gonna play. They've changed so much, I think, in that game. So eager to see what 1.0 looks like. Should be a good time on Wednesday. So we'll have some stuff to discuss with those 3 games coming out and whatever else we get into throughout
another
the
one.
week. Outside of those, let's see.
Pacific Drive. Last
Sons of the
Epoch,
Forest comes out on the 23rd.
There it is.
Sons of the Forest.
Sons of the Forest 1.0. That's it.
That's a big week.
Yep. And by the way, okay, so I did a full playthrough of Sons of the Forest when it came out.
Yeah.
And I was kind of on the fence about 1.0. I hadn't really looked into it. I was like, I wonder if they added a bunch of stuff, whatever. So then I watched like their 1.0 trailer or whatever. Instantly was like, I need to do another playthrough of this game.
There's a lot.
Dude, you can build a thing in your base where you walk on it and it shoots you into the sky and then a glider pops out and you can glide around. And I was like, I want to build that on the top of every mountain.
Did you see the new monsters?
Fucking Enshrouded needs that.
Oh yeah, new monsters. Like
there's
a car.
They had like
you can build a car.
Oh, I didn't see the car. Shit.
Yeah, there's like a golf cart. Or
something
I
saw the golf cart. Yes, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So apparently it looks like there's a lot. But one of my biggest complaints about when I played in 1.0 was the fact that base building was completely pointless. Completely.
Yeah.
Because you could not get back to your base in any amount of time because of how big the map is. There was no reason to go back to your base because the only thing you could really do in your base was like dry food and stuff. But there were resources everywhere. Like you never ran out of food just by running around to the objectives.
Yeah.
So it's like there was literally no point to a base. Apparently they've worked on that.
Nice.
So it looks like there's now more reasons and things to do in a base, which is great. And better ways to get to it with the glider and the cart and stuff like that. So, may actually give that a try this time.
I guess the question for the two of you, and then we can wrap. What gets your undivided attention? I'm looking now with those 4. I guess for me, Last Epoch and Sons of the Forest is what I'll probably split focus on. What about Co, are you diving into Pacific Drive? You also got all these other playthroughs going on right now.
Man, I'm halfway through Yakuza. I'm getting to the end of Act 1 in my Baldur's Gate 3 Dark Urge run on honor mode. I'm like Helldivers has taken over. Survivor has taken over.
Yeah.
My lord, dude. I'm floundering. I think Pacific Drive, I'm definitely gonna check out Nightingale, but Nightingale is early access.
Yes.
So I generally don't do like big full playthroughs of early access games. I dive in, see how it is, and then move on. I'll probably do that with Nightingale.
Okay.
Last Epoch, man, the only reason I stopped that game was because it was not 1.0. So I'm gonna definitely do a Last Epoch run. Not sure really how yet, but and then 1 point Sons of the Forest. I want to do a playthrough of that. I don't know, man. It'll be tough.
Yeah. And then next week we got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So that's another 40, 50 hour game, however long it's going to be. Zeke, for you, what's taking your interest, I guess, over the next week? I think you did Sons of the Forest on stream, right? When it first came out?
Yeah, I did. I played through what they had.
Yeah.
What they had at the time. I played through it, and it was like a good appetizer for hopefully a more fleshed out story, because the Forest, when it came out for like early access playable, like it didn't have a lot of the stuff that made me, who came way late to the Forest, really enjoy it. Like the cool like lore and story, and like the you know, the list that you could the flight manifest that you could look for all the like survivors and stuff like that, and the, you know, the how the plot twists and turns or whatever. Loved it. I'm just really excited and really hopeful that the story fleshes itself out and it has some cool twists and turns in it. So I'm really excited. Yes, Sons of the Forest probably. And I just gotta say, like, someone in chat was like, after Valheim, you really changed your tune. Like, yes, I changed my tune. I love survival games now. Like,
that is true.
I
don't know what
I
it is.
love this. I love this new survival Zeke arc that we're on right now. This is great.
Survival renaissance.
You've entered my territory.
That's why when he said, I got all the pals in Pal World, and I was like, what the fuck? That's like,
I'm sorry, what? Who are you again?
Yeah, what? Is this Zeke? Really?
Completionist survival gamer Ezekiel the Third?
It's wild. That's a wild.
Two words I never thought would be in front of his name.
Very weird.
Survival.
Hey.
Well, I think I was turned off to them originally because I thought it was all about building, and you don't have to in a lot of games. Like in some games, it's beneficial to you.
Yeah.
It gives you like certain like in Enshrouded. I don't mind doing the building in Enshrouded because what I really want to do is go out adventuring with the best buffs I can, and putting stuff in your base gives you those buffs, just like Valheim.
Yeah.
A lot of people equate sandbox games to builder explorer games, where really the term sandbox means you make your own fun. That's what sandbox means. It means they give you the toys, they give you the tools. Now you're sitting in the sandbox with the toys, do whatever you want to have a good time. That's what sandbox is all about. So it doesn't have to be anything. It's just whatever you enjoy doing in the sandbox. Have fun.
And
that's cool, man.
That's fair.
That's
and you're
really
right.
cool.
You're absolutely right. But that's the reason why I bounced off 7 Days to Die. It being one of the best survival games I've ever played. No point. And it felt lost. After playing it for a little bit, I was just like, what do I do?
I love that this guy's like, sandbox means they're too lazy to write a story, brother.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Give that guy a thumbs up.
Thumbs up, big guy.
You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like some of the forums, like I've seen, like, is there an end game to you know, blah blah blah, and they're like, the end game is to survive. And some people are like, hooray! I'm not that person. I'm like, give me goals. That's why I liked Pal World, but I like Enshrouded more, because Pal World did have little goals here and there, you know, but it wasn't like laid out as goals. It was just like, go here, do this, do that. But Enshrouded's like, here's your journal of shit to do. Do you want to do any of this? And I'm like, I want to do all of it.
Yeah. That's how that goes. Last thing I will say, Barry, our resident Halo fanboy, aficionado, is watching through Halo Season 2, which started a couple weeks back on Paramount. Says it's actually all right. He says, I haven't watched any of it, so I can't comment, but he says it's fine. It's a bit better. There's 3 episodes out right now. I think 4th episode is out this coming week. So yeah, I might have to dive in, just see how it is. This season I think has the Reach storyline, the fall of Reach in it, which is a cool aspect of that. But yeah, we will see. I don't know if Master Chief is cheeked up yet in season 2. I don't know any aspects of that yet, but yeah, that's where we're at with I guess the video game media. When does Fallout start? Isn't that soon?
I don't know.
Fallout, is that March? TV show.
I'm actually watching shows again now. I got a TV in my
Really?
bedroom and everything.
He's
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
survival
so
games. You're watching TV
I
shows.
know.
What the fuck's going on?
We're-
April
we're,
12th is when that comes out.
I'm in the
Fallout.
first season of Handmaiden's Tale right now.
Oh, you picked just a really happy show to watch first.
It's been a bundle of laughs so far.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You having fun with
I'm
that
close to
one?
the end of the first season. We did Yellowstone first, and and now
okay.
we moved to this one. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
we're checking it out.
Yeah. Geez.
Under
So
his
far,
eye.
it's been-
Make sure to give Off Carnage my love.
Jesus Christ. Let's do some shout outs on that cheery note. Zeke.
There is no of Carnage when Carnage has seen the Doctor.
Oh, God. Zeke, do some shout outs. What do you got going on?
What's up, everybody? My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at /Ezekiel_I on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you to Co and JP for being my boon companions every week for this show where we discuss all kinds of weird shit about video gaming. If you want to check me out, I'm live usually every day at 10 a.m. Pacific or 1 p.m. Eastern. And starting Mondays I have off, so tomorrow I'm off. But starting on Tuesday, we're going to check out Banishers again and see what's up with that. See if the game has legs. It has some good story. Going to be playing it on easy mode, so we'll get through the combat to get to the cutscenes. It'll be great. And then on Fridays, I'm going to be finishing up Golden Sun. I'm going to be playing it on Fridays until it's done because I love it and I want to finish it. That's all I got. Thank you for watching.
Also, RP.
Oh, and Blade Runner.
Yeah.
After this, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Blade Runner TTRPG. Twitch.tv/Table Story. If you like either Blade Runner or tabletop role playing games, I'm actually really proud of it. It's a really good show. So,
And Zeke, that's at
I'm
4 p.m. in 40 minutes, right?
Yes, goes live usually directly after Drop Frames, but since we're doing a shorter show, yeah, it's 40 minutes from now.
Yeah.
On Table Story.
Cool. Go. Do some shout outs.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Ko. Nice to see you. I am currently playing Deep Rock Survivors. Going to be playing more of that tomorrow. We're going to be also making more progress in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, if you'd like to see that. And similar to tonight, I think some more Helldiving. I'm still just thoroughly enjoying Helldivers 2. It's been such a pleasant surprise and breath of fresh air, and gonna be doing more of that tonight, hopefully with some streaming friendos, and yeah, should be fun. Anyway, if I don't see you until then, I will see you next week. We are gonna have a lot to talk about next week.
Yep.
After we figure out our schedule and everything, so should be a good time. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Awesome stuff. VOD will be up on youtube.com/itmeJP in about, I don't know, 5 or 20 minutes or something like that. As soon as it takes to get uploaded. I'm currently doing a run of Final Fantasy VII Remake, kind of in the off hours / every once in a while on the mainstream. Those VODs are also going up there. Getting excited for Rebirth with that. And yeah, like Ko said, kind of just jumping into all the stuff. I didn't realize how crazy it is this week until we started going all over that. So I'll figure out exactly what we're jumping into and when we're jumping into it, most likely tomorrow. And we'll come back and talk about it all Sunday with, I don't even know if we should have a guest for that. We might not have enough time to discuss everything if we bring a guest
If we could all peel ourselves away from whatever we're doing.
Yeah,
man, man.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
Real quick, JP, are you playing any Helldivers? Or are you clocking out early?
I will. Are you going to jump in right after the show? Are
I
you
was
going to jump
thinking about
in?
maybe doing a round or two. I'll do tonight for sure.
Okay,
Let's
yeah.
just do tonight. Let's play.
Yeah,
tonight.
let's
Okay,
just
cool.
join. Let's just do it. You're doing night stream at 5:30.
6:30.
6:30 Eastern. Yeah, 5:30 my time. Cool.
Ping Bruce and see if he wants to jump in.
Yeah. He probably will want to. He didn't play it all yesterday, so I'm sure he's got the itch. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching Drop Frames. We are out of here. Have a good one.
Real quick note before we go. A lot of you guys are saying Helldiver servers are down. If you fire up Helldivers and it says the servers are full thing, just leave it on there. At the beginning of the show, I turned it on just to see how long it would take. And sure enough, after about 5 minutes, about 6 times of that thing repeating, it just did the repeat thing and went right in.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to play, just leave that screen up and you may eventually get in.
That's like the queue, as it were, I guess. But yeah.
I did actually watch it work, so it does work. Yes.
Cool. All right, we're out. We'll see you guys. See you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
Oh,
have great week. See you back to back, Dick.
Yeah, that's right.
Bye.